Happy Tuesday! It's Dani Flynn and Dr. Ashley Anderson coming at you live on Facebook and Zoom and on Instagram. Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome to the party on a Tuesday morning. How's it going, Dr. Ashley Anderson?
So formal. Uh, Things are going well. It's a Tuesday morning. I'm excited to chat about the business today.
Yeah, yes. We talk a lot about product and
hmm
health stuff, and that's important too, right? That's what the business is set on. But
Yeah,
without the business side, some of us would never even know about doTERRA and all of its major benefits, right?
dōTERRA in all of its glory.
Hmm.
hmm
I love it.
I
And
think a lot of people are curious about the business and just not quite sure if it's something that could work for them, what even goes into it, what's required.
mhm.
How much money can you make? Is it real? Is it legal? Like all the
Good legal.
things. I mean, transparency, people ask a lot of things and also people wonder a lot of things in silence. So I think this is a really great conversation to have because we can hopefully break this down where it's
Yeah.
digestible.
Yeah. And I think sometimes, I'm not saying that people in the doTERRA world do this, but sometimes I see people in network marketing, and they paint this picture like
hmm
it's just the best thing ever and their life is perfect, et cetera, et
And
cetera.
it's so
But
easy,
oh, that one is is funny to me. And we just think it's important to keep it real.
as we always do.
Yes, we want to keep it real because the reality is nothing is all perfect and also nothing is all awful. I talk a lot on my feed about my time in corporate America, but it wasn't all bad. I made some really beautiful relationships there. I learned a lot. A lot of the skills that I learned in corporate America are the things that I'm using now in this business. So it wasn't all bad. And the same with this business. I love it, but it ain't all perfect. Right. And so we want
hmm
to just have some like real and raw conversation. We came up with this idea to talk business with you guys after our leadership retreat a couple of weeks back. Right. It was an
Yes.
amazing event.
Mhm.
Um, and so we're like, you know what? We got to talk to the people about the business because there are a lot of people who kind of watch passively by and maybe it's in the back of their mind. So let's dig into it. Do you guys want to start with pros first or the cons? Mwahaha. Okay, cons. Nobody said it, so I'm going to say it. Cons. We're gonna
Boom. Let's do it.
we're gonna go with the cons first. Okay, at Dr. Ashley, you got to go first. What would you say is a con of this business?
Oh,
Aubrey said
well,
pros.
Aubrey says pros.
We'll end with the pros, Aubrey.
Um, I would say a pro is that I feel like our compensation plan is backloaded.
Is this a
So
con? We're starting with the cons, yeah?
we're
No.
starting with cons. Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's what you said.
Yeah. Okay, the comp plan is backloaded.
Yeah. So I think in some, you know, direct sales companies, they reel you in by throwing all this money at you at the beginning.
Yeah.
But what I see, which I guess this is a con that's actually a pro for us, it's not sustainable.
Yeah.
So you end up going into these companies and be lured by them, like, "Ooh, I'm gonna make this much money," and at the beginning, and then 6 months, 8 months, 6 years down the road, you're still working as hard, not even making probably that much money. Um, but yeah, I think for us, sometimes it's hard for people to lock in and focus on the long-term vision and that, seeing that unilevel grow. Um, Sometimes people quit before they get there.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think a lot of people start with doTERRA and probably other network marketing companies, but specifically doTERRA. They start, and because it's a slower start up front financially, you're not making as much money up front, then they stop. before they
Hmm.
even really started.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because the longer you stay, the more money you make substantially. It's kind of like a my mentor described it to me as like a snowball, taking a building
Hmm.
snowball, starting with a little snowball and pushing it up a hill, right? So it is hard. The snowball is small. And the higher you get up that going uphill, the more challenging it is. But the thing is, you get to the top of the hill, right? There's a tipping point with this business. And if you have like the fortitude to get to the top, then you push that snowball over the hill, and
Hmm.
that baby is moving. Like you can't
Yeah.
stop it. You can't stop it, right?
Hmm.
And the snowball is getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, right? And that's really what happens with this business. But so many people start before they stop. So I would concur that that's a con, especially if
Hmm.
you are not, as a wellness advocate, if you are not preparing people up front for that. Like this ain't no get rich quick scheme over here.
Hmm.
It ain't happening quick. I mean, it can, but
Yeah, and you're definitely gonna make some money out the gate if you're doing the income producing activities. You'll be able to see the sprinkles that are gonna get you to that
right.
snowball for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a lot of people, I mean, it really, I think the beauty of this, so I guess a pro to this is that you really do control how much money you bring in. I don't know if you remember Matt Hall was talking at Leadership Retreat. I mean, his team was bringing in literally hundreds of people weekly. So their
Hmm.
fast start bonus was bad,
Crazy. Hmm.
right? So it's not
So
like
what's
it's
fast art, Danny?
okay, there. So there are four basic ways to get paid with doTERRA, and because they understand that our compensation plan is bottom heavy, like the longer you're here, the larger the money, the checks are. They've put a couple of compensation plan, a couple of bonuses in there to help bridge that gap between you starting and then you making like the big money, right? And so two of those are one of is called Fast Start Bonus, and that's just your basic commissions for new customers, 20%, right? 20% for each sale.
Hmm.
And then there's something called Power of Three bonus that you can make anywhere from $50 a month to $250. Excuse me, to $1,500 a month. So it's 50, 250, or 1,500. And that really bridges the gap for a lot of people between, when they first start with doTERRA to when they're rolling, when that snowball is really rolling, right? So doTERRA is
Hmm.
aware of it, and they've created some things in there. So like I said, if you have a financial need and you need to make $2,000 a month with doTERRA, then I'm gonna encourage you to do a little math and figure out what 20% of that bad boy is. Like how much do you have to sell to
Hmm.
make a $2,000 check? Because you can do it. It's totally up to you. You have control over it. But like I said, to me, it's a pro. I mean, it's a con because delayed gratification, let's just say, in this world is not our strongest suit. And
Oh
so for
no.
a lot of people, they just can't see the forest for the trees, right? They're so caught up in like, oh my God, it's so hard, or oh my God, I'm so scared, and I don't want to do this and I don't want to do that. And it's like, well, those are the things that get you there. And you have to persevere until you get to the next phase in business. So
And I think a lot of people too come in without a goal, like a specific goal.
yeah.
Like they're coming in saying, I want to make money. I want to be debt free. I want to do all these things. But like you mentioned, if you have that specific goal, it's like you can also connect that, excuse me, to a rank and
Hmm.
say, okay, I need to focus on building this structure. I need to focus on getting this many enrollments a month or selling this much in volume so that I can achieve this income per month for my family. So I think having coming into it with a specific need or want
Hmm.
um, to set as a goal, I think is very helpful.
Yeah, I think so. And I think when you see the people who do it fast and who are the most successful with this business, they do come in with a goal in mind. They've got a
Hmm.
financial need and they know like exactly how much they need. For me, when I first started, honestly, y'all, all I thought was attainable for me at that time was the $1,500 power of three. I was like, if I can get $1,500 from doTERRA, good to go. That's what I'm spending each month plus some, right? That was all I was after. So once I understood the power of three structure, that's how I built. I structured myself for power of three. And doing so, I also structured myself for silver, which is one of our ranks. I didn't realize I was really doing that. And then that just turned into something that went a bit crazy. But I started out with a goal, and that goal evolved and evolved and evolved. So whatever you start with, it didn't have to be what you end with. But I also want to say, for those of you who are like, nah, like I need money now. I think that was a commercial. um, and you
Which is
need
everybody, right?
now. Okay, sorry. Yeah.
Everybody needs coin.
Everybody needs it, right? So if you know how much that is, then you just put a plan together. So my upline, Jenny Ray Oates, she's the fastest, to my knowledge, still the fastest ranking diamond, which is one of our top ranks in the company. And she did it in 30 days. So she was bringing in $10,000 plus within her first month. Was that happenstance? I know. She had an amazing mentor. She had a strategy. She had a lot of experience under her belt in network marketing. And they were working 14-hour days, her and her husband, in order to do that. Is it doable? Yes. Most people don't want to work that hard up front. But just so you know, although it is a con for most people, it doesn't have to be. You can really do this how you want to do it. Yeah, you guys with us? Let's go to con number 2. In my opinion, now I will say I'm a learner. I love to learn. I love to learn. So it's not necessarily con for me. But for a lot of people, a con is that we are selling a product that requires education, right? Like,
Education.
yes, we got to educate folks on these products. We're not selling, lipstick, right? Everybody knows how to use lipstick or mascara. You know how to use it. And maybe if you're selling makeup, what you have to focus on is what makes your company different than the competitors. But with doTERRA, we are selling plant-based, pure, potent products. You got to make sure you're using it properly, right? You kind of got to understand how the oils work. You kind of have to, you can't just dive in without some sort of preparation. Okay. And I think that's part of why the compensation is a little bit slower, because you have to be learning along the way. Now, I will pause and say this. Don't overthink it. Don't overcomplicate it, right? Because like you're gonna learn. It's inevitable. If you're in this business, you are gonna get scienced to death. Okay. doTERRA is gonna science and give you chemistry and biology and all of that as you go. So you don't have to start out knowing all the things. You just have to start out knowing a few basic things off the gate about how essential oils work with the body, how to use the oils safely, and also like I like to say 14, top 10 plus 4 more of your favorite oils and start there. That's all you got to do. Like, I know you watch Dr. Ashley and you're like, oh, no, she's a doctor. That's what it takes. Would you like to speak on that?
Sure. I didn't even teach my first class for like over a year because I was terrified. You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, I was scared that I didn't have the answer.
Mm.
That someone might ask a question and I have no idea what to say. But I will say, yes, it's ideal for you to be able to really begin with some kind of a baseline knowledge, like really, jumping in and educating yourself. I think one of the most amazing tips I ever learned from reading Mary Kay Ash's book was being a product expert, of your product line. And that doesn't mean that you know every single ingredient, but you know more than the person who's coming to you to ask for help, right? But the beautiful thing about doTERRA is we have a plethora of resources. There are so many videos and YouTube things that you can watch. There's the digital marketing kit with all sorts of PowerPoint presentations, trifolds, graphics you can use on social media. So the education is there. I didn't even mention the podcasts. There's one on business, one on products. So if you want to learn, it's there. All you have to do is invest a little bit of time. And that's something that I do. So Like Danny is like, oh, you see me, on social media talking about all these products so comfortably. That was a process. And even still to this day, I listen to or try to learn something new every single day about the oils or the product line, so that I can continue to expand my knowledge and feel more comfortable being able to make suggestions to people when they approach me for specific issues. So yeah, like I think education is key. We have some really incredible tools at our fingertips for like anything that you can imagine, truly. um, but yeah, we've got to learn how to use them. And that's something I think you have to take responsibility for if you're deciding to enter this business.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, I have a corporate background. I'm a writer,
Mhm.
communications person, marketing. So I studied, I want to be a nurse. I don't know if you knew that, Dr. Ashley. I want to be a nurse.
I did
So
not.
yeah, so all through high school, that's what I pursued. And I love health and wellness. I always have. But I had no experience in this realm at all. And so, but I just didn't see it. Like sometimes it has a bigger con than it needs to be because sometimes
Hmm.
people get hung up on there and they spend a lot of time in this place of like, I got to learn, 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 learn. Well, I was here to make the money. Okay. I was not playing no games. And so what I did, because I started in 2018, all the wonderful stuff that we have now, the digital marketing kit, all those courses, that stuff wasn't there back then. That stuff was not there in 2018. And imagine what it was like in 2008, right? This stuff was not there. And so I went, thank goodness, this is why I show up on social media because thank goodness for all the people that were on social media, the wellness advocates. I went and Googled everything and I found this little cheat sheet for the top 10 oils on like Pinterest. I printed that bad boy out and that's what I did. And then I had the person that was teaching me. I was like, I want you to just do the class. And I took notes and I created a script for myself. And that's how I started. And then over the years, like you memorize that script and then you start to tweak it and you learn a little bit here and you add to it and you learn a little bit there and you add to it. So while it's true, you do need to have some education. You do need to understand the product that you're introducing to people. It does not have to be overcomplicated, right? We have our natural solutions. Is that what it's called? Our essential oils made easy guide
Hmm.
um, that walks you through the main points, and you stick to that. A piece of advice that someone gave me, actually one of my frontliners told me, you don't have to know everything about essential oils to do this, and you should not be telling everything you know in a class, right? So it's a win-win. You don't have to know all the things to teach a class, and you shouldn't be sharing everything you know in a class because you got to make this easy and simple for when we go out and try to find our builders and people to join us in this business. So certainly,
I think that's also, oh, go ahead.
no, I was
I
just
was
saying,
going to say
certainly,
that's a great place to queue up conversation about the team, right?
mhm.
So if you're being brought into this business by someone who's already in the business, that person, now called your upline, is there to support you. So you don't have to figure all this out yourself. If you join a team, there are resources already there for you. Maybe that team already has a class schedule that all you have to do is invite people to. So not only are you bringing folks in to potentially earn money, you are educating yourself at the same time. So, I want to make sure that you're clear that this is not a business where you sign up as a wellness advocate with someone, your website gets produced automatically by doTERRA and we're like, go forth and be successful. Like that's why we're here, to support you and to kind of walk on that journey with you and help you achieve those goals. So you're not alone. And you could absolutely lean on your mentor or your upline as you're getting more and more comfortable with teaching and getting more comfortable with your oil knowledge. So yeah, you're not
Yeah,
alone.
and I want to address the people that are like, but I am alone.
Mhm.
I joined, but then my upline disappeared because I know that that happens. It happened to me a
Yeah.
year in, everybody was gone. Um, Corporate is aware of that. They are aware that that happens and they're addressing that. But
Mhm.
so are we. So we open up our classes, as you see, to everybody to help you learn. For me, that those years where I was solo and it was COVID, so I was having to pivot, by myself. You guys, I just started following people on social media and then I would slide into their
Hmm.
DMs and be like, help me, please. And they
Please.
did. So willing to help, which is a pro that I want to talk about in a minute. Um,
Hmm.
so while it is a con, don't get too caught up. Don't get too caught up on any of these cons because its mindset is a real, it's such a big, huge piece of this. So when I go to number three, we talked about this already.
Hmm.
Let's toss it back to you. Con number three.
Oh, go ahead.
It ain't
Oh,
easy.
just it ain't easy.
Yeah, it's not
It ain't
easy.
easy being oily.
Y'all and A. Now, it is simple. Okay. We're not like it's not rocket science over here. It is simple. How to do this business is simple, but it's not easy. It requires something, I don't know, Dr. Ashley, like what would you, it requires something different.
Tenacity,
Yes.
consistency.
Mm,
I really think that's it. Because I
yeah.
think if you enter the business like we mentioned earlier with a goal, with a mindset that I'm doing it, not I'm gonna stick 2 toes in and see what happens. Like you will not be successful like that.
Yeah.
You will spend a lot of time and energy, and you will ultimately waste time and money.
Mm,
So you can
mm,
choose to step into this with a vision, with a goal, with all 10 toes down, and you just go for it and you make that commitment, or you just enjoy the product.
yeah.
That's my recommendation. Don't lollygag in and out. Either get in or don't.
I mean, I like it. And I like this idea of when you come in with a goal, um, you really have to have the mindset of, I'm going to do this.
Hmm.
You don't have to know how. You need to know why you're doing it. Your why needs to be solid and strong. But you don't know
Yeah.
how, you don't have to know how you're going to do it. You're going to figure it out. It's going to be messy, but you're going to figure it out, right? And you have all of us here to support you in the process. But if you're not committed to the outcome, which is being successful in this business, whatever that looks like for you, then you're not going to stay.
Mm-mm.
It's science. Is it? I don't know. You're not going to stick around if you're using, and I would encourage you to pay attention to your verbiage. If you're using verbiage like I'm trying,
Mhm.
I'm kind of doing this thing, that's that your brain hears you. That's indicative of what you're going to get, the results that you're going to get. But I know
Mhm.
Dr. Ashley and I both were pushing for founders, and it was never, to me, it was never like, well, I'll try it.
Or
I'll
I
try
hope.
it and see what happens. Nah, bruh.
Nah.
I was like, I'm doing this, and I don't know how, might almost die in the process, but I'm doing this.
It's happening.
It's happening. And then what happens is your brain is like, okay, well, she's not giving up on this idea. This is what I got to figure out a way to help her make this happen. And
Hmm.
now you start to come up with unique ideas. Like I had this woman on the my team call last night, Victoria Pellin something something something. She's a founder in China. She has a business in over like she's got her team expands over 60 countries. I mean, incredible presidential diamond. And she said for her, the approach she took was everything is figure outable.
I love
I
that.
know, right? You can figure it all out. And she also said the only you guys hear this, receive this, write it down if you have big goals with doTERRA. The only way to fail in this business is to stop. Mic drop. Boom.
Boom.
That's the only way. Like, you give up. That's the only way that you're going to fail in this business. But it definitely, you have to be able to see beyond the present,
Hmm.
right? And focus on this future goal. And when it starts to realize itself, I mean, it's a beautiful thing to kind of watch the journey, right? Don't you
Hmm.
think?
Yeah. Now, I would also just add that on my journey, I realized that God rewards the steps we take in faith.
Mm,
So if you are feeling called to play in the space with us, you know, um, just jump out and do it.
Yeah.
There's so we talked about resources. We could talk about that all day. But you can be successful if you decide you will be successful. And that's that.
And that's that. But you do, it starts with that decision, you know?
Hmm.
So I'm gonna really encourage all of you to check your language, check what you're telling yourself. There's lots and lots of books. I felt like for me that was I thought it was all about the strategy, the business strategy, but there was a lot of mindset work that was needed for me to get my brain out of a place of like you can get into this space of playing the victim, like, oh, I don't have this and I don't have that, and look at that person, they have this and they have that, and that's why they're successful. It's like, nah, you gotta, like you said, stand 10 toes down in who you are, what you bring to the table, and stay committed to the goal and push through.
Yeah.
And I will tell you this, what you will get on the other side of it is something beautiful. Once you
Mm.
realize a tough goal like this for me, founders for me was probably the hardest thing I've ever done.
In
It's
life.
in life. Okay, for you too, because I feel like I am a very goal-oriented person. When I set goals, I achieve them. That's how it's always been. And it's not that it's been easy, but it hasn't been this hard. But what I will tell you is getting on the other side of that doggone goal that I pined for me, it was 3 years. Um, Watching other people finish before me, it was like, oh my gosh, it's never gonna have it. And when you get on the
Mm.
other side, man, I feel like I felt like I didn't do anything. I can do literally my next goal doesn't scare me at all, even though it's major. It doesn't scare me at all because I'm like, I've seen what I can do. I know I'm gonna rise up to it.
Yeah.
So it instills this confidence in you that you don't have right now when you first start, right? Which, by the way, guys, is why having a goal is so important in my book.
Boom.
Boom.
All
Okay.
the mic drops today, Danny.
Boom. Listen, we talking about this is my topic. I love the business side of doTERRA. I love it. I can talk about it all day and all night. Okay. So 3 cons for you. It's a slow start. Our comp plan financially, our comp plan is bottom heavy, if you will. Our products require education, so you got to know a little bit about it before you start sharing it with other people. And number 3, it ain't easy. Okay, Aubrey. It's like, can you give me the
She
pros?
said, come on.
Here we go with the pros. Number 1, I felt for me, the biggest pro when I started researching this company was its retention rate. Okay. So
Agreed.
doTERRA's retention rate is at over 68%
What is
worldwide.
retention rate, Danny?
Retention rate, actually, retention rate means our customers are ordering over and over again, right? Repeat customers. We're not just bringing customers in, but we're retaining them in the future. So our
Mm-hmm.
retention rate is 68%, I think is what we publish, and that's worldwide, but I think we're a little higher here in the States, 70% or so. I think it's gone up since we launched MetaPower Advantage. Hello, collagen. Um, so so I didn't fully well, I knew what retention meant. I knew just from corporate, I know you want to retain your customers. What I didn't know was what was an average retention rate for a network marketing company. So I
Mm-hmm.
Googled it, okay, on my own. I needed to answer that question on my own. What is the average retention rate? And I did this back in 2018, so it may have changed. But in 2018, the average retention rate for a network marketing company, ready for it? 15%. And that is on the high end.
Yep.
Okay. I'm giving them something. That's on the high end.
For free.
doTERRA's retention rate is record breaking. And it's because the second pro, the product is solid.
Solid.
Hello. We could we could be here all day and all night talking about product testimonies. I mean, you're a doctor. Tell us what you think.
No, boy. So for not risking a phone call from compliance with all of the diagnoses that I could tell you
Right.
in treatment plans that I like to use. But just know that you are, when you're dealing with doTERRA, you're dealing with pure products, consistently pure. That means they're reliable. That means they're going to work for you. And that's why people continue to order. And I want to say, like no shade to a company like 31, but only every blue moon are you going to buy a bag.
Mhm.
But if you are buying toothpaste and you want toxin-free living, you're going to be buying toothpaste probably every month. If you need support with your sleep, you go to sleep every night. You're going to use those products every night.
Yep.
So this is something that people are using as part of their daily life. It's a lifestyle company, health and wellness lifestyle company to me. And that's so important because that helps you as a wellness advocate coming in knowing that you can suggest products that are going to be consistent and reliable that people can count on for themselves and their families. So then what happens? They keep ordering.
Month over month. And I love that, they've doTERRA is adding more and more supplements to the mix, which I
Mm-hmm.
really appreciate because it not only helps us as customer as we're also consumers. We're our best consumers, right? I don't
Mm-hmm.
know how to turn my notifications off, y'all. I'm really sorry.
Oh.
Um, so we're using the products, we need them, we need these supplements, right, day in day out, but that also helps us in the business because we're having repeat orders on a monthly basis. So it definitely is a win-win. It's a win for our customers. These products are going to help them look and feel their best, and it's best when it's taken every day. They have a regimen, right? When you take
Mm-hmm.
vitamins, you don't just take them once every other month. Some people do, but you're not going to get optimal results like that. Just like
Right.
drinking water. Drinking water is good for you. You cannot do that twice a week and assume that you're going to be in good health, right? You drink water every day. Should be, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Please.
please. Please. And so that's why these supplements, providing them to us where we take them on a daily basis, is going to be best for us and also best for us, right? Best for us, our bodies, but also best for our paycheck. So I love that they are looking out for both and they're not just looking out for the customer, right? Or just looking out for the wellness advocate. And I think that happens a lot too, where it's like,
Mm-hmm.
or just looking out for the company, which is probably what happens the most, right? And so, I love that I can go out and share a product that I personally use every single day. And it's been, as somebody mentioned in the chat, it's been life altering for me. So
Mm-hmm.
it's such an easy sell. So the business of itself and building and all that is not necessarily easy, but sharing a product that I love that's changed my life is so natural. It just comes quite easy. Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What about what's another pro for you?
I think another pro for me, which really helped to sell me on the company, is the founding executives, the
Yeah,
owners.
yeah.
When you're coming into a business like this where you can see other companies that are here and then they're gone, or they're here and then they start to compromise their product over time in order to bump their bottom line, you want to be anchored to a company that is solid, that has solid human beings running the company that care about people on both sides of the bottle. So not only the growers and the distillers and the bottlers, like they care about the wellness advocates, they care about the customers. And I think if you have time, jump over to YouTube and Google the doTERRA Genesis video. I would love for you to watch that because it really shows the heart of the founding executives and why it was so important for them to found this company the way that they did. They could have taken money from, investors and lost 51% control of the company, which means probably by now in 2023, our products would be diluted and watered down and just like most other products on the market. um, but they made a very hard decision and they continue to make that hard decision day in and day out to make sure that we have the quality of product that we need to do the things that we need to do with the oils to support our bodies and our lives. So I absolutely love the founders of this company. I feel like Emily is like Emily Wright. Shout out to you, boo.
We
Like,
love you.
right? She has goals like girl boss,
Hmm.
mom boss, just an angel.
Hmm.
Such a motivator.
She is,
So
and
yeah.
I know so many people. don't get FaceTime with the founding executives.
Of a multi-billion dollar company.
Right. Like it's just
You
not
can see their pictures on the website.
right. But to actually have interaction, to be able to literally shoot Emily a text, be like,
Hmm.
hey, this is what I'm thinking, right? I feel like is crazy. And they're just onto something. They get it. They get it. Kashana's in the chat saying, that's amazing to me. Also, everyone I met at leadership was really the best ever. And it's so true.
Truly.
They just I talked to John Jensen the other day. So John Jensen, who's one of the he's over, what is John Jensen's role? He's new. He's over North America, something, something, something,
I don't
something.
know. I just remember every time I get John's email, it means I'm getting money.
Hello, sends that founder check out. He's one of the executives over in North America. And his
Hmm.
assistant reached out to me and was like, hey, John Jensen would like to get to know you a little bit. Can I schedule a Zoom? I was like, am I in trouble? Because, like in corporate, that's what that meant. The big boss wants to chat. Oh gosh, what did I do?
What I
No,
do.
he just wanted to get to know me. He just wanted to
Mhm.
ask me questions. And I asked him, I said, my team felt this was a lot of them, it was their first time at leadership retreat. My team felt the love. I mean,
Hmm.
corporate was just like stopping them. Hey, what's your name? How's this experience for you? How you doing? Is there anything we can help you with? Right? That's what they were doing. So I told John Jensen, I'm like, did you guys send out like a message? This is how we need to, right? Like, this is what you need to do for wellness advocates when you see them. Like, is that what happened? He was like, no. He was like, no, not at all. We love y'all.
Hmm.
And
The
they
culture
give
is
up.
unmatched.
The culture is unmatched. And let me tell you something. Let me just say something. It is genuine.
Hmm.
You can tell it's genuine and it's contagious, number one. But number two, from a business perspective, it's brilliant.
It
It
is.
I don't know what happened in her
The
weight.
balloons on Insta.
I don't understand what's happening with Instagram, but it is a brilliant business move. We are their field reps. If we feel loved and supported and cared for and heard and seen, especially those of us that don't look like everybody else out there, right? It's like, oh gosh, do we even matter here? And they make you feel so important. Um, then we then take that and we take that energy and we pour it into our teams and we pour it into the people that we attract to this company, right? doTERRA
Hmm.
leads with love, and then that's then what we put out there. And people, I don't care who you are, the scriptures say love never fails, right? I don't want
Hmm.
to take you out of church, but the point is people
It's
respond.
cool. It's Easter week, boo.
people
Resurrection Sunday coming.
people respond to love, right? That's just
They
how we
do.
create it. And so I think the culture that they have created is so beautiful. And that's the one thing that Emily Wright has asked of us as second generation founders is to preserve that, preserve the culture. And by golly, by any means necessary, I'm here for it.
Period.
Hello. I mean, we just gave you like 12 pros there.
I
Aubrey,
mean,
you liking the pros, Aubrey? Like, what's up? I will add to that another pro for me coming from a very competitive corporate environment is what you see right here.
hmm.
Ashley and I are not on the same team. We
What?
we are hashtag team doTERRA,
That's right.
right? We're both founders 2.0. But other than that, Ashley's sales don't directly impact me and vice versa. And yet, look at us. We partner
Hmm.
together, right? It makes me kind of emotional, like, because that's not what you get in corporate. In corporate, or where I came from, if somebody is doing this with you, there is something in it for them that
Hmm.
has nothing to do with you. There is an ulterior motive. And to
Agreed.
see wellness advocates just helping wellness advocates, that's how we do. Yes, we're also there, it's tied into the compensation plan, right? We all get a piece of a pie, a large pie, and
Hmm.
all of our work goes into that, right? But that doesn't mean we have to support one another in the way that we do. But I think that's so beautiful. And that was one of the biggest takeaways. We had a founders retreat in
Yeah.
January.
Yeah.
And ever since then, there's just been this collaboration with the founders that has been just so beautiful to watch and to witness. And guys, guess what? We are stronger together.
Hello. Hashtag.
Hashtag stronger together.
I
Okay,
love
I feel
you.
like you're talking too much.
No, you're not. This is amazing. Yeah, because Shauna said it in the chat, like everyone really wants to see everybody win.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's
So it's like,
room.
I don't care whose team you're on. Like we have a vested, but if you're in this business, you have a vested interest in this business being successful.
Yeah.
If you're a founder, of course, you have even more vested interest in the business being successful. But Dani and I are like, yo, let's walk diamond together. What? So that means we have to do a lot of work and motivating each other and talking each other off ledges and continuing to, push forward and do things collaborative together. And, I have an accountability partner, Kesha Sheets. Shout out to Kesha. Like we meet every week to check in on each other and hold each other accountable and move forward. We're not on the same team, but it's really about understanding you're a part of the family.
Mhm.
So we say Team doTERRA and we mean that. Like this, I always say like it's so important to go to live events
Mm,
for doTERRA because it's like you get submerged into this doTERRA bubble
mhm.
and then you come out like this fresh butterfly with wings just ready to go fly around and spread all of your love everywhere. So yeah, it's very beautiful and it's not something that I've seen anywhere in my life.
Mm-mm. I feel like some of my friends were like nervous for me to get involved with doTERRA and like be intimately involved at retreats,
Hmm.
at events and stuff because of things that they have seen in other companies.
Hmm.
Um, and a lot of other companies, they attract people who are there very selfishly, right? They want the car. They want, the Louis Vuitton. They want, that they're there for the large bonuses. Like that's how a lot of companies run, and they are network marketing companies. They're attracting people who are there for that. I'm not knocking it. I mean, if that's what you want, so be it. But you got to know when you're leading with that, then you're attracting a certain type of person. Yes,
Hmm.
easy on the material stuff. With doTERRA, we win trips to go source oils in Africa,
And
right?
everyone's like, yeah,
Yes, everybody's like, I get to plant a tree.
right.
And it's just it's different. It's different. And you see that culture kind of just filter out amongst the wellness advocates. And again, we just have to be like fierce protectors of that. Because occasionally, you just a little, something we don't like occasionally here and there, but it's our job as wellness advocates to be the light and to lead with love the way that the founding executives do. So
Hmm.
it's a beautiful thing and we should protect it.
And we will.
Yes. How about one more? Oh my gosh, it's 10:52.
It's almost time.
It's almost time. We're gonna drop one more pro for you and let you sit with this. And if you're not a wellness advocate, and this is something that you've been thinking about, hopefully we've given you a few tidbits. We're about to take you to the edge, over the edge right now. Well, here, just hang,
Go
hang with
ahead.
me.
Take the people to
And
church. You were already on the way.
take you to church. Thank you, Ashley. Um, okay, are you ready for it? The comp plan is backloaded. Yes, it is a con, and the one of the best pros about this business. Cha-ching! So when you look at, if you haven't done this yet with whomever, and whoever your wellness advocate is, do this, have this conversation. Um, the compensation plan, so we're paid out. One of the ways we're paid out is by rank. Okay.
Hmm.
And so we have ranks that started around elite. That's the rank that we typically focus on. Elite, all the way up to presidential diamond. All right. Elites make anywhere from $300 to $500 a month based on their activity, et cetera, et cetera. And presidential diamonds, ready for it? make on average about $100,000 a month. And it's actually
What?
$117,000 a month, but I'm just gonna round it down for you.
Oh,
$100,000 a month is what a presidential diamond makes. Okay, so some of you may be like, is that real? Yeah, it's real. It's real. We
mm-hmm,
know some presidential diamonds and it's real.
mm-hmm,
Okay. But
mm-hmm.
here's what I want you to sit with. With doTERRA, you can go through all the ranks. You can hit presidential diamond. You can get that fat check and be living life. I mean, I can't even imagine.
Your best life,
Your
truly.
best life, right? And then guess what happens once you get there? You can
You
do it
can do it
again
again.
and again and again and again. There's no cap on your earnings. Now,
And wait.
okay.
So we're talking about all these ranks.
Mhm.
So when you start off, your LRP, loyalty rewards order, basically, has to be 100 PV.
Mhm.
When you're making 100K, how much is your loyalty order? What's your investment every month?
100 PV, exactly the same.
I just wanted to make sure that was clear.
Listen, and it's so like we have to create write-offs. I go on every single trip because as the money gets bigger, Uncle Sam comes a knocking, right? There's not a lot of overhead in this business, right?
Mhm.
So very little to lose, so much to gain. You get to Presidential Diamond, you're able to
Sharon says, bruh.
you can do it multiple times if you so choose, right? Some people are top ranked wellness advocate is a triple diamond, which means she's built to presidential twice. So she has two presidential diamond organizations
Mhm.
and she's almost at presidential diamond again. So she's at diamond now. All right.
So add that
So
up.
she shares. It's through over 300,000 monthly
Mhm.
is what she's bringing in. And I don't know. I don't think that she's even the highest paid wellness advocate. She's the highest ranked, but she came
Mhm.
later. It's Elise Chedevy. She wasn't one of the original. So some of those original founders and original wellness advocates, I don't know what Justin Harrison's just his unilevel alone, like what the heck is it looking like, right? Uh,
Mhm.
unilevel is another type of bonus that you get. I mean, I have a friend who I think her highest, no, I know her highest rank is platinum. I don't believe she hits platinum on a monthly basis, but she started her business right when doTERRA launched, and she brings in a six-figure salary, and she doesn't even care about rank because her unilevel gives her another part of the compensation plan again. Her unilevel bonus, it's her bread and butter.
Mhm.
You guys, it's serious business. That's why we here. Listen,
Hello.
I love love. I love doTERRA, but I don't have to do this business. I could be a product user and be happy. But I'm over here because financially it makes sense. And the
Makes a
other
lot of
thing,
sense.
it makes a lot of sense, like literal sense, huh? The other thing for me is this. For the first time in my life, there is complete alignment between
Mhm.
who I am outside of work and who I am while I'm working. Like
Mhm.
that's so important to me. Like this business, I feel like brings out my best qualities, not the other side, the other one.
Mhm.
You don't like her. And it's a beautiful thing.
It
It's a
is.
beautiful thing. Yeah. I don't know what's happening over here in the IG chat, but what are y'all talking about?
I think they're talking about the coin, the
Oh, okay.
dividends.
Cha-ching.
Shout
So
out to
guys,
Rod Richardson.
yes. So guys, if you learn something new, or if you're not a wellness advocate and you think you want to be one, then you need to reach out to whomever invited you or reach out to me or Ashley. If you are in this business of doTERRA and you're like, I'm not making the money like I feel like I need to be, then you need to reach out and get the support you need so that you can,
Mhm.
this business works.
Yeah.
The products work. Are you working now? Ah,
Mm.
ah,
Mm.
that was for
Mm.
Victoria last night. All right. So we're gonna call it on Insta and on Facebook. Thank you guys for joining us. We love you. Look at Insta. We love you. And Zoom will keep you open for a few minutes and take any questions or comments. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be back next week and to talk about to be determined.
Something.
Bye, Insta. We love y'all. Okay. I don't know what's happening on my watch. And bye, Facebook. Thanks for hanging with us today. And cut. Thank you guys for joining us.
Yeah, baby. That's what my son says.
I love it. Hang on, let me cut the recording here.